Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl, B Sparrow, BuzzzTweet Talk Radio. How y'all doing today? I am doing just great. I feel great. I'm thankful that the Most High woke me up this morning. And if you are within the sound of my voice, I'm thankful that He woke you up this morning too. Because you know what? We are not worthy for Him to even wake us up this morning. We aren't worthy of anything. Well, let me speak for myself because I can't speak for other people, but I just feel like I am not worthy to even mention His name, but He saw fit. He loved me enough, my sottish tail, loved me enough to wake me up this morning, to get it right, to repent from something that I did, sins aware and unaware, and y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Because I'm looking at things that are going on around me, and things are not touching me. I mean, I just feel like He has His wing around me. He is protecting me from evil. Now, I'm that's not to say that I'm sin free, because I do sin. I'm a sinner. I live in sin every day. I'm sinning every day. And for those of y'all who thinking that you're not sinning, you're lying to yourself. You're sinning without even knowing it. There's so many evil things in our hearts and in our minds that we don't even know is evil, that Yahshua HaMashiach is standing in for us. He is our counselor, our mighty counselor. He is standing for us, begging for mercy for us. Hallelujah. Anyway, I got this article that I wanted to talk about. And so I want y'all to give me just a few minutes to go and fetch my article. I'm going to go and do that, and I'll be right back, okay? Okay. BuzzzTweet Talk Radio do not own copyright for this copyrighted material, but under Section 107 United States Copyright Office, Copyright Act 1976, this video, the music and content it contains is for education and or entertainment purposes only.
All right, I know people have been sitting there, but I got to bring this queen up here. BeeSparrow. BeeSparrow. I was keeping my eye on that sparrow sitting over there with me. Come on in. What's up, BeeSparrow?
Oh, I can't call it. I cannot call it. I can't call it, y'all. I'm just, roaming this super web, minding my business, the World Wide Web, just minding my business, and I came across these two articles in reference to these North Carolina pilots. This plane leaving Dare County makes an emergency landing onto a North Carolina highway, and the pilot, who said he has been flying since 1972, was not hurt. He was not hurt. No one was hurt. A sheriff lieutenant said the pilot was the calmest he's ever seen after such an emergency. A plane leaving the Outer Banks made an emergency landing in eastern North Carolina, the Washington County Sheriff's Office said. Lieutenant Charles Arnold said a pilot headed from Dare County to Plymouth, North Carolina, experienced a loss of power and had to make a belly landing on Highway 64 near Creswell. Lieutenant Arnold said the pilot of the four-seater Piper Cub was the only one on board. He had to set the plane down without landing gear and skid it across the highway. The pilot, who said he has been flying since 1972, was not hurt. Lieutenant Arnold told ABC affiliate WCTI that the pilot was the calmest he had ever seen after such an emergency. Part of the highway was shut down, as the sheriff's office waited for the Federal Aviation Administration to give permission to move the plane. Afterwards, Lieutenant Arnold said a tow rope was attached to the aircraft and a firefighter used a personal vehicle to tow it to the side of the road. Wow, like, really? And then, after I read that article, I came across another article that read a North Carolina pilot dies after he mysteriously jumped or fell from a plane in midair. Now, is this the same pilot? I don't know. It says North Carolina pilot dies after he mysteriously jumped or fell from a plane in midair. This article was written or was published on July 31st of 2022. The other article where the pilot had to land on the highway is not even dated, but I believe this article was first. Published August 1st. It was published August 1st. So the North Carolina pilot that jumped from the plane, it happened first. It happened in July. This article was published July 31st. According to NewYorkPost.com, it says when a small plane made an emergency landing at Raleigh-Durham International Airport on Friday, only one of its two pilots were on board. That's because one of the pilots either jumped or fell to his death while the plane was trying to get to the ground safely after losing its right wheel, according to federal authorities probing the mystery. Police are trying to piece together why Charles Hugh Crooks, 23, was not in the cockpit when the plane hit the runway. His body was found in the backyard of a home about 30 miles south of the airport in the town of Fuquay-Varina. Crooks did not have a parachute on, and authorities believe that his body fell 3,500 feet. Authorities are also unsure if he died before the fall. I believe this was a first for many of us that were working the incident today. Wake County Emergency Management Chief of Operations Darshan Patel said of the death, both the Federal Aviation Authority and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating. Wow, he was just 23 years old. Wow. Crooks' co-pilot, whose name has not been released, was taken to a hospital after sustaining minor injuries and released later that day. The plane, which could seat up to 10 people, was badly damaged. Wait, is this the same article? The victim's father, Hugh Crooks, told local media he has no idea what happened to his late son. We can't process it right now. I don't know, he said. Wow. He pursued his private pilot's license while he was in college. I think he got that when he was a sophomore, Hugh Crooks said. He said a couple of weeks ago he wouldn't trade places with anybody in the world. He loved where he was. I can't imagine what happened, the dad said. We'll figure it out, I suppose. The police chief, Brandon Medina, described the situation as unique and did not say if it is being treated like a criminal investigation. Wow. So 2 incidents involving airplanes in North Carolina. One in August, a pilot had to land his plane because he suddenly lost power. And so he had to land his plane in the middle of the highway. No one was hurt. Not even him. No one was hurt. But then you have this story also in North Carolina where the pilot, they said, either jumped or fell to his death in MidAir. This is crazy. And the 911 call reveals doomed North Carolina pilot jumped from emergency landing. They say he jumped now. Wait, is this a different story? So this says a 911 call released revealed that the co-pilot who mysteriously vanished in mid-air in North Carolina had jumped out of the aircraft. 2 Federal Aviation Administration's employees could be heard saying that Charles Hugh Crooks, co-pilot, reported that he leaped out of the damaged plane before it made an emergency landing at Raleigh-Durham International Airport. This is from Raleigh Airport. An FAA air traffic controller said on the recording, "We have a pilot who was inbound to the field. His co-pilot jumped out of the aircraft. He made impact to the ground. And here are the coordinates." But then the other article said that they found his body in somebody's backyard. I'm confused. The article goes on to say this is from Raleigh Airport. The article goes on to say the 23-year-old Bucknell University graduate's body was later discovered in the backyard of a home in Folkway, Varina, North Carolina, about 30 miles south of the airport. Why would you do that, sir? Why would you jump like that? And for your body to be found 30 miles away, you had to be a little up in the air now. Then you just get your pilot's light. Today, Jesus. The article goes on to say, in the 13-minute call, an FAA employee said Crooks, co-pilot, had reported he jumped out without the parachute, so he might have impact to the ground. "I'm sure the pilot is going to be shaken up," one FAA employee said. "I have no idea. He literally just said, my pilot just jumped out." The recording captured the FAA employees frantically trying to figure out what happened to Crooks. I guess at this point in time, all we can do is recovery. An FAA controller told a dispatcher, I don't know. This is the craziest thing ever." It is kind of crazy. Like, sir, can you just wait until the plane... Wake County emergency management officials told WRAL the initial 911 call was received at 2:30 p.m. The aircraft, a CASA 212-200, made an emergency landing about 18 minutes later. Wasn't it set to make an emergency landing anyway? I guess at this point in time, the article goes on, all we can do is recovery. Oh, that printed. Oh, that's it. I read the whole article. Wow. No. Once the aircraft had landed, it was reconfirmed. Based on a report, the pilot said the person in the aircraft had exited the aircraft prior to landing. Wake County Emergency Management Chief of Operations Darshan Patel told the station. Crooks' co-pilot, whose identity hasn't been released, well, it has been released. He is 23-year-old Charles Hugh Crooks. It says Crooks, who was also a certified flight instructor. Oh, I lost my way. Where is it? Okay. Was taken to Crooks, who's once the aircraft had landed, it was reconfirmed based on a report that the pilot said the person in the aircraft had exited the aircraft prior to landing. Crooks' co-pilot, whose identity hasn't been released, or the co-pilot's identity hasn't been released, was taken to a hospital for minor injuries during the landing. He was discharged later that day. Crooks of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, was employed as a pilot by Colorado-based Rampart Aviation at the time of the doomed flight, according to his LinkedIn page. I hold a commercial pilot's license with single and multi-engine ratings, along with tailwheel and high-performance endorsements, the profile reads. Crooks, who was also a certified flight instructor, had previously taught clients at the North Carolina-based Flight Jest Academy. Crooks' father, Hugh Crooks, told WRAL he had no idea what had happened during the son's final moments. Devin Lynch, a friend of Crooks, said the incident doesn't match what he knew about the late pilot. I've known Charles for 3 years, Lynch told WRAL. He was a pilot from the day I met him. I've flown with him a few times, and I can tell you firsthand what kind of pilot he was. He followed every rule to the letter. Lynch said he'd like to hear what the cockpit voice recorders picked up at that time. I would be interested in hearing the CVR recording because I'd like to hear what was going on in the cockpit that wasn't being communicated to air traffic control, Lynch said. A man who identified himself as Crook's brother refused to comment when reached by the Post. Not interested, he said before hanging up. I mean, come on, people. The man brother just died. Just jumped off of an airplane. Leave him alone. Leave the family alone. But then again, if you leave the family alone, we wouldn't have anything to report. So I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. So y'all do what you want to do. So the National Transportation Safety Board has taken over the ongoing investigation. Preliminary information indicates the aircraft sustained substantial damage to its landing gear and fuselage, prompting the pilot to ask to make an emergency landing. The pilots were flying at the time from Rampart Aviation, which has not responded to inquiries on the nature of the flight, according to WRAL. Wow, I'm so sorry for the family. It just sounds like a freak accident. So I'm just sorry this happened. I hope that... I don't know what I hope. Anyway, it's just sad. So let me know what y'all think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. Not just to my YouTube channel, but come on over here to my podcast on Spreaker.com. BuzzzTweet Talk Radio. Follow me there. And in return, I'll do the same. It's your girl, BeeSparrow. BuzzzTweet Talk Radio. Holla at y'all, girl. Okay? Okay.
BuzzTweet.